Hello, I'm Gabby Jim. This is my wife and I's RV trailer that we live in, and this is our new location on a small ranch in a remote corner of Wyoming. Over here is obviously the front end of the trailer. You can see that we're still getting things put together. We've been here for almost 2 months now, and we still aren't settled in yet. Propane tanks that have to be hauled 30 miles and filled at a place where they charge exorbitant prices for the small tanks. Behind the battery box there, the cats have pushed their way through. Cats, that one there, that's called BC, and over there is Thor. And these two cats help keep the mice down. We feed them enough to keep them around, so hungry enough to hunt. Back there is a solar voltaic panel I haven't put up yet because I don't have the money for the supplies I need to hook it back up. The plastic bags contain pieces of insulation salvaged from another project. There is some plastic, more insulation. What happened is the roof of a machine shop caved in, and our boy managed to salvage some of it for us. Pieces of plywood, actually OSB, salvaged from our last installation, held against salvaged insulation with pieces of old railroad tie. An improvised set of steps to get in and out of the trailer, safer than the old steel steps that were on there. My wife lost her balance on those and fell back and broke her hip. And I built this jury rig here, which is not in place yet, so that she wouldn't have to climb up those stairs anymore. Over here, we have a piece of plywood stuffed where the old stairwell was, some salvage insulation behind that. Insulation is not adequate, but it's better than nothing. This is where the tires were. As you can see, most people like me took their tires off when we park it semi-permanently. I dug a trench underneath here so that the brake drums and the axles can hang free so as not to make the trailer bounce when you move around inside. The sack labeled layer feed there contains some abandoned clothing that was left behind when some old tenants moved out of the ranch house. Some more salvaged insulation. Another bag of clothes stuffed in a hole. Around the back here, again, salvaged plywood and some insulation stolen from another project of lower priority. We had some nasty winds here a few days ago. They do get up to 140 miles an hour. 90 to 100 miles an hour is not uncommon out here. That's all the plywood holding up, sticks holding up the plywood against the wind. Then there's no insulation on this side over here. Around back over here, some more bags of clothing stuffed in the cracks. I did salvage a piece of insulation to go behind this piece of plywood. This is where the water comes in and the drain lines go out. Plastic bag with insulation entered over the water line inlet. Another piece of salvaged plywood with no insulation other than the straw bales, which I salvaged from the last installation. And the back side of the solar voltaic panel, which I still haven't put up yet. Over here, the solar collector that I built to help provide heat, obviously in a state of disassembly still some damage needs done. I need to spend probably $40 just for ductwork, and I'm only guessing at what it's going to cost me to replace the electronics that were damaged. You can see the white tips and the cones inside that are beginning to unravel. I need to pull all the covers off, replace the missing screws, repair the damaged cones. Poor collector suffered a bit of misfortune getting it up here. This is the immediately urgent project, is to get this trailer set up so we can survive 20 and 30 degree 20 and 30 degrees below zero temperatures expected this winter.